All right. What's up, everybody? Joe McCall from the Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast. I got a special guest here, real quick podcast. And I posted something the other day saying, hey, listen, who's done some lease option deals? I'd love to talk to you about them on the podcast. And Ray Shurman said, hey, man, I've done some. Let's talk about it. I said, cool. So I got him on here. Ray, how are you?
I'm doing well, Joe. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. So you're from the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's
cool.
correct.
So talk a little bit about how you got started in real estate first.
Okay. Yes, sir. So I've been in the Army, joined the Army after high school, 2010,
Okay.
got out 2015 at Fort Knox, Kentucky, did IT, worked as an IT help desk. Got kind of bored, the 9 to 5, didn't work for me. So I looked for ways to make money out a 9 to 5.
Cool.
Came across real estate and wholesaling.
Yeah.
So I did what that is not really common. I burned my boat, quit my job because on YouTube they make it look so easy. Put the property on the contract, sell your contract, and boom.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more than that. Just because it's simple doesn't make it easy.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to make this work no matter what. So I came across seller financing, lease option, came across some of your videos. And I was like,
what year was
wow.
this?
So this was 2016. So
2016. Okay.
I've been doing this for a little over 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I came across lease option. My first deal was a sandwich lease option.
Love sandwiches, man. That's awesome.
That's sir. So got cash flow, down payment up front, and closed last year. It was a 2 year.
Okay, so talk about the numbers on this deal, would you? This
Right.
is a deal you negotiated with the seller to lease option, and then you found a tenant buyer to lease option it and buy it.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so what were the numbers?
So the numbers, I was trying to wholesale it, but then, once I found out about lease option, so I came across the seller, say, hey, I got another idea. How about I take over your mortgage payments, give you a non-refundable down payment, and cash you out within 2 years. And
Nice.
she was a landlord. I found out this strategy worked best for landlords because they're already in the mindset of taking payments terms.
Oh.
So she agreed to a $700 rent. I rented out to the tenant buyer for $1,000.
So you had $300 cash flow. Nice.
So to start out, $300 cash flow.
Nice.
Yeah. So $2,000 down. I like to go a little bit above security deposit to make it, looks more sweet. So we agreed to $2,000, and the sale price, I believe, was $60,000. Yes, it was $60,000.
So what did you buy it from the seller for, and what did you sell it to the tenant buyer for?
So I sold it to the tenant buyer for $80,000.
Nice. So there's a $20,000 spread.
Right. And I kind of screwed myself a little bit. The house was worth, ARV was like $100,000. But yeah, I got it. There was nothing wrong with the house, and that's the beauty of doing a lease option. You can work with nice house instead of distressed properties.
Well, I love this because the seller accepted a cash offer, but you couldn't wholesale it, right?
Right.
Instead of just walking away, you offered something different.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
And so how long did the tenant buyer rent the property from you?
A year and a half.
Year and a half.
They give $8,000. They put $8,000 down, so I made $6,000 up front, and that took me less than a week.
Good for you, man. So I thought you collected $2,000 from the tenant buyer. You collected $8,000 from the tenant buyer, and you paid the seller $2,000.
$2,000.
You made a profit up front of $6,000. Did that have to go to a savings account, an escrow account, or that was your profit, wasn't it?
Right. It was my profit.
Cool.
However, the way I do lease auction now is I don't spend any money on the down payment, because what could go wrong will go wrong. That's
Smart.
So just in case the tenant buyer mess up the property for whatever reason or decide to leave, I got the money in reserves to fix that.
Man.
Now, my 2 years of doing this.
I was as smart as you were when I was first getting started, because I didn't do that.
That's right.
That's smart. Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. So they already close on it?
Yes, they closed on it like 4 or 5 months ago.
I love
So,
that though. I mean, you could have made more money, right?
right,
But because you gave the tenant buyer enough cushion in there, they had
right,
a lot of incentive to want to fix their credit
right,
and to buy that house, right? So
right,
sometimes we got to be
right,
careful about being too greedy because then the
right,
tenant buyer won't have any incentive to buy the house, right?
right, right. And they once they move in, they remodel the house. They stop working on the house. They had to email me first before doing it because they still not the owner. 9 times out of 10, the owner always told me yes because when you approve the property, what
Yeah.
happens? The value go up. So,
So the tenant
but
buyers fixed up the property themselves.
right. The
Yeah.
tenant buyer pays, and that's thing. My paperwork. I know. I came across your videos. 1 page or 2 page. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to keep it simple for me, but doing this for what I learned, like people is not a big fan of lease auction because of the things that went wrong when other people were trying to do it when they wasn't doing the right way. So I want to make sure everybody is protected. So my paperwork consists of 20 documents for both seller, myself, and buyers, and this disclosures that need to be signed. I also pay directly to the lender. I never give the money to the seller. Well, some of them I put, like, say the mortgage for the seller mortgage is $700. They rent it to me for $1,000. I will pay the mortgage directly.
Yeah.
But they give them a paper called the letter to the lender saying that they acquired a property management company and to
Yeah.
expect payments coming from me, all statements. So I like to make sure
Yeah.
the lenders is getting paid because from what I heard is some sellers don't pay
Oh yeah.
them to the mortgage company. They end up foreclosed, and the tenant buyers that
Yeah.
been doing what they're supposed to do end up losing the house. So a little example like that, I can go on for
Oh
all
man, that's so
day.
important because you got to make sure the
Yeah.
mortgage is being paid. If they go into
Right.
foreclosure, like all of a
Mhm.
sudden the tenant buyer is going to look at you and say
Right.
what's going on, and it could be your fault.
Right.
Nice. All right.
So
So how much total profit did you make on that deal, approximately?
let's see, total profit for $300 a year, about $14,000.
Well,
Close
not
around
including the
that.
money you made also up front. So you made 20
Right.
grand spread plus
Right.
about $3,600 a year in cash flow.
Right.
I think you said 18 months, right? A year and a half.
Yeah, it is 18 months, a year and a half.
So 20
Yes,
plus 30.
sir.
So you made about 25 grand on the deal.
Yes, sir. I did.
Gross profit, right? Now
Yes,
you might have
sir.
had some, did you have some closing expenses, closing costs or whatnot?
Oh no, the tenant buyer covered the closing
Wow.
costs.
The tenant buyer pays the closing
I
costs.
don't think I can ever get that lucky again. But on that one, the tenant buyer
Well,
ended up.
you can get that lucky again if you do it
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Nice.
They
Good for
agreed to pay
you.
because
How did
I
you
left
find
so
the
much
deal?
room. I left so much room into that deal, so they were fine with paying the closing
Yeah,
costs.
nice. Of course.
Mhm.
I always say that you got to make sure that the tenant buyer has some incentive to want to buy it. They've got some room in it. How did you find that deal?
So I found a deal through Zillow for rent by owners.
So you contacted the for rent by
Actually,
owner,
it was no. Actually, that one was for sale.
for sale by
She
owner.
was looking to, yeah, she was a landlord looking to get out of the business.
Nice.
Had a bad tenant, and she got tired of it, so she was trying to get rid of her properties.
Yeah.
And I told her, hey, do the wholesaling markup thing. I can buy your house. Give me 30 days to close this and that. Look for a buyer for you.
Nice.
But it didn't work out, but that way. So yeah.
Well, I love me some Zillow leads, because
Yeah.
they're just great ways to find the owners. But that's so
Right.
cool. I hope people listening to this understand what you just did there. Like
Right.
you found a seller that wanted to sell but couldn't. You tried to buy it. You tried to make a cash offer. It didn't work out. So you just
Right.
didn't walk away. You offered them something different. You offered them.
Right.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
So what are you
And,
doing now? Like, have you
now,
done more deals since?
Oh, yes, sir. So now I specialize, ever since I found out this really works, you helping sellers who can't sell and a buyer who can't buy. And that will happen no matter what the market look like. The market go up and down. There will always be problems. So
Yeah.
now I focus on lease auctions. That's the only thing I focus. I watch more of your videos. And I find deals by expired listings for rent by owners. Agents now
Yeah.
recently work with agents that say, hey, I can pay up to 3% commission if your listing is about to expire. You know, if your seller agreed to do a lease auction with
Nice.
me, I
Yeah.
pay them up to 3% upfront. Now, the trick about this is it's not coming out of my money.
Yeah.
It's coming from the down payment, the auction fee from the
Yep.
tenant buyer. So, you know, there's many ways of doing this. Also, I do this thing, we talked about this yesterday, called Fisher Upper Lease Option.
Yeah. Talk about
Yeah.
that.
So
A fixer upper lease option. Good.
Yes, a FULU for short. But Fisher
I like that.
Upper,
Fulo.
yes, sir. Fisher Upper Lease Auction is where instead of going to the bank or a private money lender and get cash, cash out the seller, you can lease it for a couple of months, 6 months to a year, and fix up the property and then resell it and cash the seller out. Now that would save you interest, paying interest, extra closing costs. I never borrow for a private lender, but for what I heard from my investors that fix and flip, that saved them a lot of money, and now their money don't have to be tied up. They can do many of these as possible.
So you find a property that needs a lot of work, right? Instead of going out and borrowing hard money or private money,
right?
Right. You just lease option it from the seller for what, 6 months?
Up to a year. Well, up to 2 years. So what I do is I try to go as long as I can with the seller, just in case I need more time. The tenant buyer need more time. So that one was for 2 years, but the investor, I only do this with the Fisher Upper Lease Auction. You only want to do this with people who have experience in Fisher Uppers. You know, you don't want to put a regular tenant buyer because they may not have experience. They may tear up the property. So you want to make sure. I do this with my investor friends, my local real group that I know who are Fisher Uppers, and this saved them a lot of money. And
this is cool. I like this angle. So you're not actually putting a tenant buyer in the house to fix it up.
No,
you're partnering with another rehabber that you already know has a good reputation,
and they can get in with little to no money down, and that way, like I always get come in with zero down payment with the seller, because the seller will ask for a down payment. I always tell them this: I don't want to do a double down payment. Now, double down payment is where you get money down to get into the property, and then you had to put more money down to fix up the property. That's a double down payment. And this 9 times out of 10, sound like, oh yeah, makes sense. So with the seller, zero down, but with the rehabber, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. So I made a couple of grand up front, and then get the rest when they fix it up and resell the house.
So how do you split the profits after the property's been fixed up and is sold? How do you split the profits there?
So say just like how I come up with a sell price. Hey, I'm selling this to you for 100, and they buy it from me for 100, and I got it with the sell like 80 on grand. So it's just like wholesaling.
But I love that. So whatever they sell above 100, they keep, right?
They keep, right. So it's like wholesaling, but instead of getting cash right now, you can just get cash out later on down the road.
That is so brilliant, man, because, if you're going to give the seller cash, you might have to give them like 40.
Right.
But if they can do this kind of a creative lease option, you might be able to get them 60
or
70, right? Then you sell it you lease option it to a rehabber.
Right.
But it's still kind of like a sandwich lease option.
Right.
That rehabber is going to pay you the rent that covers if there's a mortgage, covers the mortgage, right? And so, but you're going to sell it to that rehabber for $10,000 to $20,000 profit.
Right.
They're going to fix it up and then sell it for, hopefully they'll get like a $20,000 or $30,000 profit when they sell it.
Right.
Beautiful.
And the thing is, I like to sell hey, if for some reason the rehabbers don't finish or we don't pay you on time, then you get a nice house.
You get a house back in better shape than it was before.
In better shape, and you can't.
And we've been paying.
You can't say no to that.
Yeah,
Right.
and you've been paying the rent every month.
Right, and also what I also do is put the property into a trust, so that the seller, the rehabber, can have it in their name, and when they something about a holding period, like they have to own the property for a couple of days or a couple of months before they can rent it.
Oh yeah, the rehabbers, because of the what you're saying is like FHA has certain rules. They have to own it for 3 months, 90 days.
Right.
So, but you put it in a trust to kind of help with the seasoning issues going forward.
Right. That's correct.
Man, good for you. That's smart.
Yes, sir. And so far, this been working out. I made a company called America's Second Chance.
Okay.
Basically, we are a lease with the right to purchase. So it's lease auction, but you're saying lease with the right to purchase, and we help people again hold the tenant by your hands with our credit repair companies and mortgage lenders. So far everything been going smooth, and I love lease auctions. So.
Oh, that's cool, Ray.
Right.
Thank you so much. Hey, listen, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, if they're in the Charlotte area, maybe want to partner with you on a deal or something, how can they get a hold of you, Ray?
Yes, go to www.americasecondchance.com.
America's Second Chance, is that with a number 2 ND?
Number 2 ND chance.com.
America Second
America.
.com. AmericaSecondChance.com. Thank you, Ray. Are you on Twitter or Instagram or anything?
Facebook, YouTube. Ray Shurman, as you see here, R-A-Y. Last name Shurman, S-H-U-M-A-N.
Nice.
And
all right.
Looking to do in multiple market, doing deals, JV.
All right.
Market deal. So
right on.
Hey, who knows? Maybe one day I'll call you and we can do deals, JV deals.
Thank you, Ray. Hey, listen, everybody, real quick, if you want my book to learn a little bit about what Ray's talking about, you can get this book for free at WLObook.com. WLO Book. It's about wholesaling lease options. And you can also go watch my webinar at sloclass.com. Simple lease options, sloclass.com. All right, Ray, thanks a lot, man. We'll see you. Take care.
All right, Joe. Thank you.
Bye-bye.